Hey everyone, listen to the rhetoric coming out of this so-called social justice reporter for the Communist Star, the Toronto Star, in regards to Doug Ford's decision to cancel the basic income project, which is just a new term, just a new word invented to describe socialism. When everybody, if you have a situation where everybody can live off of the government, that's socialism, folks. You can use as many different terms and words and rhetoric as you want, but at the end of the day, 2 + 2 is 4, and a square is a square, and a circle is a circle. Reality is reality, and denying it just makes you seem like someone that is blissfully and woefully ignorant to that reality. Headline: Cancellation of Ontario's basic income project sparks global outrage. Global outrage. So because Doug Ford is not going to allow genuine socialism to fully entrench and take place in the province of Ontario, global outrage ensues. What? Say what? What? First of all, that's kind of funny if you think about it. Like, why would there be global outrage? Oh, because they want to implement it globally? They want to have, think about it. Are they not playing into that? What are these tinfoil hat wearing people that are totally, you're actually playing the game of giving credibility to those who talk about one world government and world communism, world socialism. People like Alex Jones and stuff that talk about this stuff, you're only giving more credibility to them by owning up to the fact that it's seemingly something that you promote. So anyways, let's read into this article and see just what kind of rhetoric that Lori Monsabaratin has to say. This is being reported on Tuesday, September 18th, 2018. The premature end of Ontario's basic income pilot project is a serious breach of Canadian and international research ethics that harms Canada's reputation on the world stage, says academics and activists from across the globe. Hello, ethics harms the Okay, let's just clear the air here right now, real quickly here. Ethics, please don't bring up the word fucking ethics when you're talking about forcefully taking from people who are productive members of society that actually go out and work for a living and produce the wealth and income, and then taking it from them forcefully, not by asking their permission, not by any voluntary means, and giving it to people that don't want to. There's the ethic fucking problem. There's the failure in morality, not the fact that Doug Ford is trying to end or cancel this socialist experiment. Actually using central planning and intervening into millions of people's lives and taking from one and giving to another, right? Without nobody's permission, that is where people should be outraged. But obviously this SJW, no, she don't see things in that way. She see things in that black and white. It's us versus them. It's capitalism versus socialism, and it's the workers against the employers, and without any nuance, any recognition that there's some gray areas in between. There's some conversation, there's some debate, there's some dialogue that's seriously lacking, seriously missing from this person's mind, from this person's intellect, and from any discussion or any rhetoric or any article that's presented by these kind of social justice warriors. Wow. Anyways, back to the article. Standards for the ethical conduct of social experiments involving humans have evolved significantly in recent years. First of all, there should be no such fucking thing as governments and central planning authoritarian hacks using humans for social experiments. We're not fucking rats. We're human fucking beings with dignity. Like I say, yeah, I'm getting upset, and I'm sorry, and probably overpowering the mic right now. Hopefully everything turns out as far as sound quality, but this shit pisses me off because the rhetoric being espoused by this, people actually believe this nonsense. And you can't help but question what in the hell has gone wrong, who propagandized, who indoctrinated the minds of these people so thoroughly that they just can't seem to even understand objectively how immoral the very pretense of having any form of forced subjugation or collectivism, how immoral that is. They're literally advocating for slavery, but a modern version of it. Wow. As if any human being has any higher claim or authority on your productive wealth and income than you do. Think about that. Who could believe such nonsense? Only those who are ideologically driven and who are unwilling or unable to think critically about the issues that they even discuss. Says University of Manitoba health economist Evelyn Forget in an open letter to Premier Doug Ford and Social Service Minister Lisa Clapp. So a public sector worker, a government worker, once again, an unelected bureaucrat is saying, oh, well, of course. Well, because, hello, think about the perspective. Think about the opinion of someone. Look, it's all about perspective. Where are you at? You know, like a thief? I guarantee you'll hear a thief, a common thief will defend, well, I needed it. Well, I stole the steaks from the store because, hey, I was hungry. Or, yeah, well, I stole it. No. Theft is wrong, and I don't give a shit about what excuse you give me after the fact. Theft is wrong. If you want help, ask people for help. That's the moral, that's the truly ethical way of helping yourself out or helping anyone else out. Using force or the big gigantic gun in the room is not an actual legitimate excuse or means to help or subsidize yourself or anyone else. The fact that I have to even push back against this and people don't all understand this intrinsically. I mean, we should have all understood this by the time we were 5, right? Don't hurt other people, don't steal, don't rape. Like, these are things that we should all understand even as small children. To grow up as an adult and to reject that reality in favor of some political rhetoric, these people are the epitome of immorality. Or at least an unwillingness to question what they've been told by their political authorities or political masters. Not only is the cancellation inconsistent with international best practices, international best practice. Hey, Venezuela is part of the international community, isn't it? Hey, North Korea is part of the international community, isn't it? Are we supposed to deal with that? Are we? Once again, now it's democracy on the world stage, so it's a bunch of sociopaths, control freaks, authoritarians, and collectivists. Oh, I guess if they, at some point in time, if they unanimously vote in the UN that, hey, we should have one world government and full-on socialism worldwide on a global scale, hey, I guess we should all just subject ourselves to being modern indentured servants or slaves to a ruling class because, hey, there was more of them that voted in favor than didn't. Once again, political edicts now rules the day instead of genuine objective morality and logically consistent ethics and principles. But it violates your own Canadian policy for the ethical conduct of experiments involving humans. Listen to, like I say, listen to the fucking rhetoric espoused and spewed in this article and think about the kind of people that even think in this way, in this manner. Wow. Warren's Forget. What a name, too. Last name Forget? Yeah. Oh, I'd like to forget this person and all the bullshit they espouse, except, you know what? This is something that's prevalent out there, folks. You got to pay attention because there are a lot of people that fall for this nonsense. Hey, if you don't believe me, just look to China, Communist Russia, Mussolini, Hitler. Think of all these social experiments that have caused the demise of millions, hundreds of millions of people just in the 20th century alone. These social experiments involving millions of humans, yeah, bad idea, folks. Let's not do this anymore. Really, though, come on. Warren's Forget in the letter signed by more than 20 researchers and stakeholders participating in basic initiatives around the world. 20? What's 20 people matter anyways? But apparently the Star gives a lot of credibility, a lot of weight to these 20 people as opposed to what? How many people would be like, hey, I don't like forced subjugation. I don't like slavery, right? But our voice, hey, we don't get any recognition here, and I guarantee you're not going to hear any pushback in this article of this, or the opposing side or an opposing view to the narrative. You're not going to hear that in the Communist Star, that communist rag of Toronto. Canada's continuing leadership on balanced and humane economic policy. Oh my God, the rhetoric has always mattered deeply to the international community, the letter continues. We asked you to reconsider. The world is watching. Hey, world, or at least those of you in the world that fucking like forced subjugation and slavery, how's about this? How about you take both of them and shove them up your ass, all right? Because, yeah, not fucking dealing this shit no more. Yeah, the end of these social experiments using humans, yeah, that's going to come very soon, hopefully. Because people, like I say, we live in the age of information. Your rhetoric doesn't fly anymore. You can use these publications, these rags to spew your shit, but hey, You got people like myself out here, lots of us, that are willing to push back, and we've got the right ideas. We've got the morality. We've got the ethics. We've got the principles. We got the common sense. We've got reason. We've got reality on our side. And you better start to recognize that soon. Because the more you keep escalating, the more pushback you're going to get. And once you push people too far, well, things get pretty hairy. You back people into a corner where there's no escape, watch what happens. McLeod pulled the plug on the 3-year, $150 million. Anyways, I'm not reading any more of this article. I'll place a link to it in the description of the video below. But as you can tell, this is really ticking me off. This is really grinding my gears to even read this kind of rhetoric. But hey, I do it because I know you need to hear it. I know we need to start to have these kind of discussion, this kind of dialogue, this kind of debate. So you have to listen to the rhetoric of these people. You have to hear what they're saying, because the only way you're going to be able to defeat your opponent is at least know where they stand, what they're promoting, what they're espousing, what they're spewing. So we've heard it. Now the onus is on you to push back. Don't just avoid it. Don't just watch the video and just keep it internally. Make sure you're out there pushing back against this stuff, because they need to know that you're in opposition to this and you're willing to stand up and defend your personal rights and your personal freedoms and your ability to maintain your own sovereignty. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.